Hello, my fellow Earth Angels. Welcome back for another lesson. Let's go ahead. Oh, wait, sorry. In case this is your first time here, I'm Taylor, and I have a lesson for you. So today's lesson is that life is a continuous graduation. What do I mean by that? I am so glad you asked. You have to keep seeking to be the best version of yourself, because as you keep seeking to be the best version of yourself, you keep finding new things, and it unlocks new ideas, and it creates new paths you would have never seen or been aware of if you weren't seeking that better version of yourself. And you know what really, okay, I think what could really drive my point home is giving an analogy. I love a good analogy. Okay, so say, because this has actually happened many times in my life. Me and someone else, let's come up with the name for someone else. Let's use Riley. No, I don't want to use Riley. Let's use the name Huey. Okay, so imagine me and Huey are sitting at the same event watching the same presentation, right? Huey spends all his time soaking in bad content, meaning content that is not fruitful, content that does not elevate them in any way. If anything, it's doing them harm. It's very worldly and it's very disruptive because it's not a positive influence. That's what Huey spends all his time consuming. And he goes to a job he can't stand, and he's around a bunch of people that are miserable, and everyone is in this miserable bubble. They have no hope, no optimism, and no ambition, because what they're seeing all the time is just not fruitful. Their mind is so consumed with things that don't move the needle forward. Okay, that's Huey's life. Okay, not saying no, I said what I said. That's Huey's life. Now, my life, say I spend my time investing in my mind. I spend my time seeking out things I'm interested in and growing on that knowledge. I spend my time reading so I can gain more knowledge. I spend my time asking better questions, figuring out, okay, if I know X, Y, and Z, I need to figure out what's missing, and I need to ask about what's missing so I can expand my knowledge and learn something new. So I spend my time developing better questions to expand my mind in a much greater capacity. And that's how I spend my time. I spend my time feeding my mind things that are going to benefit me in the long run. I spend my time learning lessons that will help me be able to apply different things in life when I see the pattern, or when I see what God already told me I need to be prepared to see. I spend my time soaking up this good book because it's full of life lessons. All right, that's how I spend my time. So Huey spends his time consuming all of that stuff. I spend my time consuming all of that stuff, right? So say me and Huey, on a Thursday afternoon, we are watching the same presentation. We are watching the same speaker. We are watching the same sermon. We are watching the same lesson, right? We now have access to the same amount of information, the same exact words, bar for bar. Huey is going to watch that sermon, and he's not going to take away the seeds that the Lord has planted in that message, because he's not at a place in his subconscious to even receive those ideas. Whereas I can watch the same thing, and I am going to take every seed the Lord planted for me to see, because I have a higher consciousness. I have a higher awareness of what to look out for in things that are fruitful that I need to expand on, right? So a large part of being able to recognize a blessing when it comes your way is building your awareness. You have to spend the time investing in your mind so that you can see. It's like attracts like, or wait, they say opposites attract. What I'm trying to say is that birds of a feather flock together. So if you are spending your time on something fruitful, you're going to be able to better recognize other fruitful things. And in the same way, what was that line from that song? I heard that one time. Real recognize real, and you looking real unfamiliar. I don't know if that was from the Boondocks or if that was from a song, but yes, real recognize real, and you're looking real unfamiliar. That, you don't even understand how that concept applies to life. right? Because if you are seeking a certain path, everything that is not aligned with that path, it's gonna look unfamiliar. It's gonna feel uncomfortable, and your body is going to want to turn away from it because it's unfamiliar. It doesn't feel like the right thing. And you just have this intuitive knowing that that is not something good for you. So you're like, yeah, I'm gonna distance myself from that because I already know that's not beneficial for me, right? Whereas if you are so consumed with chaos, chaos feels familiar to you. chaos feels Chaos feels familiar to you. So that means every time a toxic partner comes your way, that's what's familiar to you. You're going to gravitate towards that because that's what you're familiar with. That's what you are so accustomed to experiencing. You're not aware of other possibilities, right? So the way to break out of this chaotic, toxic cycle is to increase your awareness. You have to expand your mind. You have to seek better things. And the Lord is going to reveal more and more to you the more you seek. So going back to that analogy of me and Huey watching the same presentation, we can watch the same thing and we're going to walk away taking completely different messages from it because one person has a higher awareness to pick up on the little seeds, that the little gems of knowledge that were dropped in that message. One person has the ability to take that and take advantage of it. They're going to run with it. Whereas another person is going to be like, all right, this was whatever. Where's the club? Like their mind is not even focused on the right thing for them to be able to catch the gems that were just presented in their way. And they're going to miss out on that opportunity of something that can fuel their growth because they don't even have the awareness to know what to look for. You have to figure out what to look for. You have to figure out what questions to ask. You have to figure out what's missing. And that is what allows you to elevate higher, because the more you're seeking something better, the more good things that come your way. And the more chaos you seek and you feel comfortable and you allow to just be around you, you know, the more of that you're going to get. You're going to attract what you're an energetic match for. So if you are putting out good energy, you are promoting good energy, you are seeking good energy, good things are going to come your way. Whereas if you do the reverse and you are seeking negative content, you are signing up for negative content, you are choosing negative content, you are going to keep receiving negative outcomes, you know, feelings of self-doubt, feelings of worthlessness, not you're going to feel like you're going to be consuming this negative content and you're going to just be filled with feelings of doubt, feelings of lack. You're going to be watching someone live their life and be like, well, why can't I have that? Why can't I do that? Chances are because they did the work. They did the work to get to where they're trying to go, and you're just sitting there hating on them. Hey, happy hoes ain't hating, and hating hoes ain't happy. I know. I had to say what I had to say. It's true. So there was something else I wanted to say. I can't really remember. So I think this would be a good time to talk about what Bible verse supports what I'm saying. Join me, friends. In Genesis chapter 21, verse 19. Then God opened her eyes and she saw a well. That's all. That's it. That's the line. God opened her eyes and she saw a well. Okay, so if you don't know what's happening in this chapter of the Bible, let me give you a little recap. Long story short, and this is the Cliff Notes. If you want the in-depth play-by-play, you need to go read it for yourself and do some Bible study on it yourself. But I'm gonna give you the Cliff Notes just to drive my point home. So long story short, Abraham and Sarah were this very old couple. The Lord gave Abraham, he gave him a blessing. He pretty much told him, I'm going to give you your own son. And he's like, what are you talking about? I'm old. How am I going to have my own son? But the Lord said it and the Lord will do it. So years went by, and they still didn't have this baby, right? So Sarah's like, yeah, the Lord's not going to give you a baby. We're too old. So I suggest you just go ahead and have Hagar, which was their servant, their slave. Sarah, Abraham's wife, offered up her servant, her slave, to her husband to have a baby. Why would you ever invite another woman into your bed? Hey, she had to do it so we can learn not to do it. All right. Anyway, so Sarah says, look, I'm old, she's young, have a baby with her, and maybe that's what our blessing's gonna come from, right? Right. So Abraham said, you know a man's not gonna turn that down. You giving me consent to cheat? Abraham did what he shouldn't have done. He should have said, we're gonna wait on the Lord, but he didn't. And you know what? He had to make that choice so we can know not to make that choice. So yeah, he did what he did, and him and Hagar had a baby. When the servant, the slave, had that baby, she started looking at her master, Sarah, like, I'm better than you. Like, I was able to do what you haven't been able to do in years and give your husband a baby. Like, she started feeling herself, and she started treating Sarah poorly. And Sarah said, She started treating her bad. Like, don't get the roles flipped. Like, you might have had his baby, but I'm still his wife and you are still my servant. Stay in your place. Like, they started having problems. All right. Moving on. Sarah gets pregnant. The Lord is always going to do what he said he's going to do, but in his time, not your time. So the Lord gave Sarah a baby. Once Sarah had her baby, she said, your mistress, the one that gave you the kid first, she gotta go. She gotta get up out of here, because now my son is here and my son is not sharing the inheritance with her son. So get her out of here. Abraham's like, that's my child. And this is all happening because of your suggestion. Like, Abraham was in distress. He had to go talk to the Lord. And the Lord said, listen to your wife and don't worry about the boy. I'm going to take care of the boy, right? So he kicks out Hagar and his son. So he kicks them out and gives them, what was it called? Let me find the word. Yes, a water skin. He kicked them out. He kicked his servant and his son out of the house on their own and gave them some bread and some water skin and sent them out into the desert. What in the wicked world? Hagar starts going, and then like she gets to a point where she runs out of water, and it's so hot in this desert that she just starts crying. She hides the baby because she doesn't want to see him die, because she's out there in the wilderness all on her own with nothing, and she just can't bear to watch her child die. So she hides him, and then she goes off yonder and she starts crying, and the Lord sends help. The Lord sends help. The Lord sends an angel and says, what's wrong? Like, you would be like, first of all, God, don't be asking me what's wrong when you know it's wrong. But God isn't asking those questions for his benefit. He's actually asking them for your benefit, so you can reflect on how you ended up where you are, and so he can help shift your mind to what you need to focus on. Don't focus on the struggle. Focus on what the Lord is trying to give you in that struggle, right? So she's crying. And then that is when the Lord says, yeah, what's wrong with you? Don't be afraid. I will always be here to provide for you. Look, you crying because you don't got no water. You just need to keep your eyes on me, and I will always provide. Bam. She finally sees there was a well of water there. The baby don't gotta die of dehydration. You don't gotta die of dehydration. There was a well of water there. The Lord opened her eyes so that she can see what was there the entire time, because it says, then God opened her eyes and she saw a well. It does not say God built a well. It does not say God brought in a well. It does not say God brought somebody with a well. It says God opened her eyes and she saw a well, meaning the Lord gave her the ability to see, finally be able to see what was in front of her eyes the entire time. Just by focusing on the Lord, he's going to increase your awareness. Sorry, my camera died. But yeah, just by focusing on the Lord, he's going to increase your awareness and he's going to reveal things to you that were there the whole time. And he's going to give you the building blocks in your mind to build on those things he's showing you. And it's going to produce abundance and prosperity for you. It's going to produce healing for you. He is going to take you to where you need to be. You just need to fix your eyes on him and he's going to do the rest. Seek the kingdom and he's going to do the rest. Yes, this is so good. It is so good and I love it. Okay, so honestly, I think I could drop the mic there. Drop the mic there, because this is just so good and I'm seeing how the Lord does this for me over and over and over and over again. I can literally watch the same. Actually, yeah, let me use movies for an example. Let me use The Karate Kid. I have watched The Karate Kid, the one with Jaden Smith. I have watched that movie countless times. I love that movie. But when I watched it as a kid, I think the only thing I paid attention to is the fact that I think the first time I saw that I was young as well. So I think the first time I probably watched it, I was just like, oh, Jaden Smith is so cute. And I think as I kept watching it, I was just more fascinated by the things he can do with his body. Like it really captivated me to see him training and see the progression. I really love stuff like that. So that is what I always focused on the movie. And I thought it was just a feel-good movie. Why did the Lord place it on my heart to watch The Karate Kid this year, 2025? And I took away a completely different takeaway than I've ever taken away. The Lord opened my eyes for me to see an alternative perspective of that movie. And I'm going to give it to you for free. Okay, so when I watched it, I was dealing with a lot of strife at work because people were haters. They were haters and they were coming at me and the Lord was helping me deal with it. So in the midst of that work HR turmoil, the Lord puts it on me to watch The Karate Kid. So I'm watching The Karate Kid and you know what he revealed to me? I just need to be still, because the first thing that Jaden really sees that gives him the ability to, first of all, respect the maintenance man and see him for what he is when Jaden is getting his behind beat, like he is getting beat up, and the maintenance man comes out there and saves him, like takes care of him, and all those angry boys that are trying to attack him, they start trying to attack the maintenance guy that's trying to prevent them from attacking Jaden, and he's watching him fight all of these kids. It's like 1 versus like 6 of them. And they're all fighting them. Think like Kung Fu style, whatever, or karate. I guess it is karate. Like, they are all coming at this maintenance man trying to attack him. And not once does the maintenance man throw a punch or anything. It's just whatever they get, whatever energy they come to him, he repels it. By just being still. By him being still, he's able to see everything coming at him from every angle, and he just gives it back. Whatever you give to me, I'm gonna give back. Let you deal with that. So one instance, the boy tries to kick him. He caught his foot and just pushed him back, and now he's falling and stumbling and everything. Like, it's really an amazing scene. And I bet if you watch The Karate Kid from this perspective of just being still and just giving back whatever they give to you, your mind is going to just open. Because from that, I took, all right, as they're coming at me at work, I don't have to do anything. I don't have to show up to every fight I'm invited to. I do not have to give them energy just because they feel like picking a fight with me because they don't have anything better to do with their time. I don't have to partake in this chaos sandwich they are trying to suck me into to drain my energy. Instead, I was just still. I was just pleasant at work. No matter what they did to me, I kept my eyes on the Lord. I kept trying to do what I know I'm called to do. So I still showed up. I was still very kind. Despite the stuff they were doing to me, it's almost like I didn't carry the burden or the bitterness that typical people would take from people being mean to them. As much, I really embodied the saying, kill them with kindness. The meaner they were to me, the nicer I was to them, and it was eating them up. the Lord gave me the strength to do that, because it takes a great deal of mental strength to be able to do that. But the Lord gave me the tools to do that. And then he gave me a movie of what this looks like. Like, they're always going to hurt themselves trying to hurt me, because I'm just going to keep showing up as this good version of myself, a version of myself that's trying to be better, kinder, wiser. And that is going to shine much greater than the bad stuff they're trying to paint on me. Like, I just don't get so distracted in the chaos that you start messing up your own life. Because if I would have reacted in a crazy way, I could have lost my job. Despite what they did to me, the focus would have been shifted on how I responded, what I said, blah, 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 what I did. Like, I never wanted that to be what they could do. So I said, nope, I'm gonna keep showing up, because you're telling lies, and what's done in the dark will come to light. I don't have to do a thing. So the Lord showed me that movie, a movie I had seen 1,000,000 times already. But it just so happens that the last time I watched the movie, the Lord opened my eyes and revealed to me a different way to handle the chaos at work. He offered me a different perspective that shaped my actions going into the next days to follow. And the Lord is good like that. He's done it so many times. I just gave you one example, but the Lord literally keeps doing this for me. For me. He keeps exposing different things, and it comes from an increased awareness. I seek understanding, I seek knowledge, and then I'm able to connect dots. You're able to connect dots when you have a foundation that will support you connecting different dots. Like, you have to know, like, for example, if you read a sentence that says, Satan tested Job. If you read that sentence, you might just be like, all right, Satan tested Job. But if you seek the understanding behind what that really means, if you look up each word and then you start connecting the dots, you don't see just, oh, okay, Satan connected Job. You see that the Lord you see that Job's faith was so strong that despite being tested by Satan, he still knew who his Lord and Savior was, and he did not break his faith. Even his wife tried to break his faith, and he kept his eyes fixed on the Lord. And the Lord knew that Job was going to show up, which is why he told Satan, if you feel the need to test him, go test him. But you can't touch his anointing. You can't kill him, but you could do whatever. He won't break. The Lord knew what was in Job, because the Lord knows what he put in all of us. He knows how we can perform, and he will give us the opportunity to just keep showing up. And if we focus on the Lord, he's going to tell us what we need to know every step of the way. You just got to keep taking those steps. Keep seeking the Lord, and he will open your eyes. Man, so powerful. Love it, love it, love it. I thank you for joining me for today's lesson. I hope it blesses you. I hope you get a chance to check out the other ones and the ones coming, because I drop new lessons daily. Yes. All right, please stay tuned at the end for my message, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. I know you need a calendar for 2026, and I'm going to tell you why you should buy mine. I know you want to grow your life. I know you want to grow your walk with the Lord. I know you want to become a better you. This calendar is geared towards all of those goals I know you have. In this calendar, I have a Proverbs verse at the top of each month, related affirmations that apply to the Proverbs verse, and a reflection question aimed to gear your inner growth. It's also accompanied by a picture that I took myself by the grace of God. I have a hot girl dog, and we would go on hot girl walks, and I would take pictures all the time. And then one day the Lord said, go ahead and put it in the calendar. So I went ahead and put it in the calendar, and this is it. And I really hope you consider buying it. Like I said, it's really geared towards those that are interested in growing their walk with the Lord, and also just doing some inner healing, inner reflection, and self-development. It's really like a self-improvement motivational type of calendar. So it includes It includes a Proverbs verse at the top of each month to help you know what the word says and help guide your decisions throughout the day. But it also gives you affirmations to help you remind yourself that you are made in the Lord's image and you are capable of all of these great things. And then there's a reflection question at the end, because sometimes we have to ask ourselves some hard questions so that we can get to the growth. So there you have it. I hope you're interested. And if you are, you can find the link in my description. I hope to see a purchase from you. Thank you for listening. Bye.